Welcome all of you. So in our this video we will discuss about a story which is given in your NCERT book only. So this is a story related to the Government High School of Simapur, where students want to celebrate one religious festival. So they contact to their teacher for asking that there is a big religious festival next month and they want to celebrate it in their school. So can they celebrate it in the school? So the teacher replied that they cannot celebrate that festival in the school because this is a government school and government school cannot give importance to any one religion, because it can be possible that we celebrate this festival this time, but it cannot be possible that we are going to celebrate next festival which is going in next month or next to next month, and it can be possible that that religion belongs to some another religion. So by giving equal respect to all the religion, government school, or you can say government did not celebrate any festival. They provide a government holiday to all the employees whether that festival belongs to them or not, and they can celebrate that particular festival with their relatives or within their locality. Okay, so then both the kids discuss. uh, First the boy said that he never thought of it this way, that I guess we can always celebrate it outside the school only, because as their teacher said that we cannot give any importance to any one religion, and for giving equal treatment to all the religion, it is best for the government that they have to provide one holiday for that religion or for that festival, and anybody whomsoever want to celebrate that particular festival, they can celebrate it with their friends and family whether they belongs to that particular religion or not. Okay, so the celebration of the religion festival within the school would have a violation of the government policy of treating all religions equally, because government school cannot promote any one religion either in their morning prayer or through religious celebration. This rule does not apply to private school, because private school, you also can see that in our school also we celebrate different assembly with the help of different religious practices, like we celebrate Mother's Day also, we celebrate Father's Day also, Gandhi Jayanti is there, Eid is also there. So like this, with the help of our assembly, we celebrate or give equal respect to all the religions, but it is not possible for the government. And for giving equal treatment, government just provide a holiday for all the festivals, whether it belong to Hindus or whether it belong to Muslim. Government provide one day holiday for all the festivals, and whomsoever want to celebrate that festival, they can celebrate by their own way. So here is the second way in which Indian secularism works to prevent the above domination in through a strategy of non-interference, that state cannot interfere in any religious practice or beliefs of any religion. Here is the story that there is a group of friends who have recently brought scooter and meeting to go for a ride together. We are talking about these two peoples. So here is one person who said that I hope you have a helmet. You know the law in Delhi requires that you wear one. Why not you are wearing a helmet? Do you want to be a fined? This person is asking to this one. This person is I think she is sick person. So he said that don't you worry, I will not be fined. So his friends asked, why won't you be fined? Then he replied that for Sikhs, wearing a pagdi is very important part of our religious, and the government cannot force me to wear a helmet because it's not possible for them to wear helmet on their pagdi or turban which they used. So police cannot make him as a fine that you are not wearing a helmet, so you have to pay fine. Okay, so like this, in this story we studied that Sikh youth does not have to wear a helmet because the Indian state recognized that wearing a pagdi is central to Sikh religion practices, and in order not to interfere with this, allow an exception in the law, because it relates to religious practice, that it is important for the Sikh people to wear turban, and if they are using turban, then it is not possible for them to wearing helmet, and the police cannot ask them that why they are not wearing helmet, and they are also not they cannot also ask them for the fine. The third way in which Indian secularism worked to prevent the domination, listening earlier in through a strategy of intervention. You read earlier in the chapter about untouchability. Yes, untouchability also we have read about that. Okay, where the member of the same religions, upper caste and someone are from the lower caste also, in order to prevent this religion based exclusion and discrimination of lower caste, the Indian constitution banned untouchability. As I already discussed this with you, that now it is totally banned from the India, because upper caste Hindus dominate lower caste Hindus, and like this they practice untouchability, and now untouchability is totally banned from India also. So in this instance, the state is intervening in religion in order to end the social practice that is beliefs discriminate and exclude, and that violate the fundamental right of lower caste, because when they practice lower untouchability with lower caste, they you can say violate their fundamental rights, because there is a right to equality, which is also a fundamental right which gives equal treatment to all the citizens, and when untouchability was practiced in our society, then there that right was violated. Okay, so like this there is a separation of religion from the state will not interfere in any religious practice of any festival or of any religion. They will not support any religious beliefs, or they will also not violate any practice or beliefs of some other religion, whether they are belongs to minority or they belongs to the majority. Next, we are having, in what way is Indian secularism different from that of other democratic country? Okay, so now we will discuss the, you can say, Indian secularism, how Indian secularism is different from others country. Some of the above objectives are similar to those that have been included in the constitution of secular democratic country as India is. But the first amendment of US constitution prohibit the legislature from making laws respecting an establishment of religion, and that prohibit the free exercise of religion. It means by word establishment is that the legislature cannot declare any religion as the official religion. We are talking about USA. Yes, we are talking about USA, that with the meaning of establishment. Here is the word they are using, establishment. They will not also follow any particular religion. No, for them every religion is equal, and they will give equal treatment to other religions also. Okay, next, nor can give preference to one religion, means they will not give preference to any one religion. In the USA, the separation of between state and religious mean that neither the state nor the religion can interfere in the affair of one another, as we already discussed in the case of India. That same case also practiced in USA also, that state are separated from the religion. So there is one significant way in which Indian secularism different from the dominant understanding of secularism as practiced in the USA. This is because unlike the strict separation between religion and the state in American secularism, in Indian secularism, the state can intervene in religious affairs. Okay, you have read about how the Indian Constitution intervened in Hindu religious practices in order to abolish untouchability. When untouchability was practiced by the upper caste of the Hindus, the same practice was banned by the Indian Constitution because it was violating the rights of lower caste Hindus. Okay, so this means that any intervention in religion by the state has to be based on the idea laid out in the constitution. If you are practicing any particular, you can say, practices, so it should be in the favor of community, and that practice should not be violated any of the right of any of the citizen of the society. Okay, and if your practices is violating right of someone, then that the practice will be completely banned from the constitution. We can judge whether the state is or is not behaving according to the secular principles. Of course, if state will promote any particular religion, it means that state is giving importance to one religion only, and state is not giving equal respect to another religion. So like this, we can also judge the state that whether they are following the principle of secularism or not. And at the end of the chapter, we are here discussing the conclusion, or we can say the summary of the chapter, that we have discussed various ways to prevent religious domination. We also discussed the constitutional fundamental rights which are guaranteed by our constitution to each and every citizen. We also discussed principles of a secular country, and we have also discussed the topic of untouchability. Okay, so this was all about this chapter. I hope all the points are clear to you. If you are having any doubt and any query, so you can contact me anytime. Thank you so much. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you.